Okay, so we're just going to quickly go over the information that was in the final chapter of our textbook, and we're just going to learn some 3D operations. So what I'm going to do is I'm first going to go to File, New, and I'm just going to accept the defaults here. And then I'm going to go to Select All, and then we want to go to Edit Fill. And basically, we want to fill this with the color. And so we are going to go ahead and click Color and select the color that we want to choose and hit OK. And then hit OK. And you can see now that it has filled the entire background with blue. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go up to the 3D drop-down menu, and we're going to go New Mesh from Layer, and we're going to go Mesh Preset, and then we're going to go Cone. And a message comes up, and we're just going to hit Yes. And it's gonna, we're going to go ahead and hit OK. And as you can see, it has created a cone out of the fill layer. In the Tools panel, I'll go ahead and select the Move tool. And all three capabilities are embedded into the Move tool, so you can see how it changes depending on where you move. So we're going to go ahead and done here was I selected the Drag 3D Object tool right up here in the Options panel, and you can see that I can drag the 3D object, and I'm just going to return it to the center. And Photoshop recognizes the 3D axis widget and then switches to that tool that corresponds with the active area of the widget. And they'll discuss it more in a little bit here. But I'm also going to go to the Rotate tool here, and as you can see, I can rotate. And you can even see the shadows that come from that as well. And you can just go ahead and experiment with the other tools and see, you know, how they go ahead and change how it interacts with the document here. If I hold my Control key and click down here at the bottom of the working window, I can also have different views for my widget here. Let's go to top. And default will bring it back to what it was. Another thing too is I can actually go to the widget itself, and I can have it give shadows and catch shadows. We'll go ahead and move this here. And you can see that the shadows are on, and I can tell it not to have shadows as well. I can go and actually change the orientation of the materials by giving it more shine and adding more roughness, etc. And I can change the coordinates as well. On this window here, I can actually go ahead and add different surfaces, or I can go down into the custom presets and add the different surfaces there as well. And I can enable line rendering. I can put points on my image as well. So various options here that you can use when creating your 3D object. So I'm going to go over to our file from the Lesson 15 folder, and you'll notice that when I click over these two items here, you'll see that I got two different 3D elements here. I got the lettering and the back here that I'm going to place the text on. And if I click on this, if I hover over the green arrow up to the yellow point, you'll see that move on y-axis comes in. So this will allow me to drag my object down vertically. And then if I hover over the red one and I go move on y-axis, then I can bring my lettering over and center it on to the phone cover case here. So when you're ready to actually print, the actual printing application is found in the drop-down menu for 3D. And it's going to generate the object to get it ready for printing on the 3D printer. It's taking a little longer than normal. And anyways, unless you have a 3D printer, you're going to be selecting your 3D printer in the Properties panel. Okay, and you can see that it looks quite a bit different. And actually, Shapeways is a vendor that supposedly supplies relatively inexpensive 3D printing. However, if you have a 3D printer that you are working with in your area, you would go to local and then select the printer that you're going to be using. And for this particular one, we're going to go to the printer, and because I didn't have, the local there, it's not going to give me the options. So in Shapeways, then you have the type of printer that you're going to select, and we would go plastic polished alumide. And then we want to make sure that the inches is selected in the printer volume menu to specify how the printer volume should be measured. And as you can see that the letters have actually come outside of the background here. And so that's where you're going to get more of the 3D printing. And if you see the view that it's not fitting within the area, you have to go scale to print volume and change these settings accordingly to the type of printer you're working with. And so then after we select the print button, and this will come out, and you can see here it will actually tell us what the estimated price will be to print this object in the plastic. Quite expensive, definitely. And then basically you click on the export, and you can save the 3D file, and you can see that it's now an STL file, which will be the type of file you use to send it to a 3D printer. So anyways, it's exporting this 3D, and you can actually pull up that file, and it will unzip a file and display the object and list other possible prices. But because I don't want to complete the ordering process, we're just going to click on no and leave it at that. And then you can add to the cart the material you want to print, etc. Actually, I could have probably shown you that, but I was just a little worried. I didn't want to send anything to a printer for $100. But anyway, so that pretty much takes care of this unit.